Hey, what's good? I'm gonna be telling you at the time I got into a rigged MMA match. With my back against the corner, there was only so much I could do, but thanks to God, I made it out alive. On the same summer day I got back from college, as I was about to unpack all my stuff and hit the shower, I got a call. I picked up the phone and saw that it was from the leader of the organization who kidnapped me. I answered the phone and he got straight to the point. He said he needed me for an important mission. I interrupted him trying to tell him I was too tired to do it, but he instantly cut me off and told me that he would pay handsomely for it. Then he proceeded to tell me the location of the organization and to be there soon, immediately hanging up. With mixed feelings of confusion and anger, I remember looking at my student dues and just being depressed because I knew I would have to go through the same student debt loan cycle. I told myself that it wouldn't be a bad idea to at least go and hear him out. Skip past and I got to the location. I entered the building, showed the security guard proof of my invitation, walked to the area where I was kidnapped and saw the leader along with a group of people. I joined in on the discussion and met Dr. Dre, the leader of God's Essence, a company committed to preventing harm caused by unethical corporations and corrupted individuals, with the goal to positively impact society. Dr. Dre explained that Tariq the Great had an illegal object that enhances one's strength, which he plans to sell on the black market and to people in the sports industry. He needs us to go to Egypt, arrest Tariq, and bring him back. All he is aware of is the location of where the man is. Once we bring him back, he will pay us for our efforts. I accepted the job thinking to myself that I wouldn't have to put in too much work because of the team I had. While we were walking to the airplane, I got to know my team and they seemed to be reliable. Sarah seemed to be try hard and laser focused. James was just constantly cracking jokes and Davis was pretty chill. After a couple of hours, we reached over to Egypt and it looked beautiful. It looked just like a desert. We landed near the city and talked to the townspeople for information about Tariq the Great. We later found out that he was participating in an MMA fight and reevaluated our plan. Sarah pointed out that because of Tariq's fame, that most likely meant that he had bodyguards with him at all times. So we had to find a way to capture him secretly. James jokingly brought up an idea that one of us could participate in the Egypt MMA and then defeat Tariq. Then while he's resting, we could capture him there. While both Sarah and Davis agreed, Sarah said that she would have done it, but women are allowed to fight men in MMA. I started to panic because I was raising the odds of me having to put in work. I looked at James and he said he couldn't go because he didn't want to mess up his pretty face. Then Davis goes ahead and tells us that he hasn't gotten into a single fight in his life. I was like, wow. But then I remembered the fight I had with the boss and felt the same level of disappointment of needing to get bailed out because I was too weak. So then I shifted my mindset and used this fight as a place to improve my strength. And then I told them that I'll do it in some of the past fights I had. They agreed and we shortly got moving. Signing myself up for the MMA, seeing steroid using barbarians, I'm on to my first fight. When I got to the ring, I was a little shocked to see that my enemy was shorter than me. But nevertheless, I didn't let arrogance get the best of me. Then as soon as the match started, the man disappeared. I began looking around and as soon as I looked down, I got uppercutted to the dome. As I was trying to fight back, he would just completely dodge and then threw a flurry of punches at me. Although I was eating his punches, the more he would punch a certain area, the more it would hurt. I knew that if I got one good hit on him, then that would at least slow him down. So I dropped down, swooped attacked him, jumped into the air, and did a flying knee attack to his stomach, sending him flying. I got so hyped when I did that, but I calmed myself, knowing that at any moment, he could get up and get some random power boost. But after 10 seconds of him laying there, he didn't get back up, and I ended up winning. While I was walking back to the locker room, I was pleasantly surprised. While walking through the hallway, I overheard a conversation between a couple of people. I approached them wanting to learn more about the mysterious guy named Tariq. I wanted to know if he was truly great. As I got closer, I head over to a spot where I heard their conversation clearly without being seen. One of the guys was talking about how worried he was that he was not going to win his money, scared that Tariq was going to lose to the new fighter. I assumed he was talking about me after seeing my impressive combos, but Tariq seemed to be confident. He said that the weapon he hid beneath his gloves would secure his victory. I looked over and saw a flashing purple glowing ring. Seeing that, I knew that was the weapon that Dr. J was talking about. The other guy was skeptical and asked him if it really works. Tariq put on a ring and a glove, then punched the wall right next to him. I saw a massive hole large enough to fit like 10 beds. My heart sank. But when I looked closer, I saw that the ring wasn't glowing and assumed that it was on cooldown. Without realization, I quickly ran out and kicked Tariq, knocking him out. I then took off the ring, put on the ring, grabbed Tariq and jumped over the hole. While running through the building, I called Sarah and told her everything that happened. Even though she was shocked by my story, she quickly acted and told me to meet her at the same area where we discussed our plan. I agreed and continued searching for a way out, but unfortunately, I ran into a dead-end hallway. When I looked back, I saw a whole bunch of bodyguards behind me. Without hesitation, I sprinted towards the end of the hallway and punched through the wall, breaking free and escaping out of the back of the building. I felt exhilarated and couldn't believe I just did that. But at the same time, because I didn't have the gloves on, my hands were hurting. Eventually, I made it to the secluded spot. Together, we tied up Tyreek and got in the airplane heading back towards God's Essence. During the journey back, James congratulated me on my victory while Davis asked me to train him. I told him I bet and put him onto the course I made after the event. Finally, when we got to God's Essence, I told him that I was gonna head back home immediately to get some shut-eye, and also told him to tell Dr. J to send me my money. After saying my goodbyes to Sarah, James, and Davis, I ordered an Uber and headed home feeling like a goat. Then as soon as I set foot in the crib, I knocked out on the floor. And that's the end of the story. With the help of technology, we advanced civilization to a world of digitalness, and it has allowed those who probably wouldn't have learned of a certain information in the past. But now they are able to access it and absorb its knowledge at any time they want. So with this being the case, I will deliver y'all a message that has been proven by all leaders all around and is effective enough to turn someone from the average Joe into the above and beyond Joe. The moral of the story is, in order to become a top 1% individual, you must go into a dungeon and obtain the Triforce of Courage. Only a very few select people have acquired the Triforce and live to tell the story. Go be brave!